This is episode 125 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com and, of course, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else you guys post the show or get the show posted. Daily Motion, I hear it's on, so congratulations to all of you that post the show. The big announcement that I promised last week is coming right this very second. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. It is with a heavy heart that I announce this is the last episode of Talk Wrestling. In standard definition. I know I said heavy heart. I'm actually very excited about this. Starting next show, this show is going to be renamed Talk Wrestling HD. That's right. Talk Wrestling is going high definition starting next week. We got a new camera. We'll have a new set. I mean, not a new setup because we're not that crazy. But, because I like sitting in this chair. It's a good computer, good chair. As I talked about a couple weeks ago, as I talked about last week, if you're cool, you'll be at Bob's Big Boy with us to tape the first HD on-location show. Because here in the studio, it's a cool feel, it's a good environment. I like the desk and the chair and the computer, as I said. But nothing beats interacting with you guys, the fans. So, if you're cool, you'll be at Bob's Big Boy in Burbank on August 15th at 9 o'clock. More shows per week starting in a couple weeks. No. Alright, so HD, which means larger file sizes. HD means larger file sizes, which means the shows are going to be a little bit shorter. I know you guys are used to my 15-minute rants and that's not going to happen anymore. However, per your guys' request, there will be more shows. You've been talking about this for the last 3 years. Ever since I started doing one show per week or a couple shows per week off and on, you asked for more. You've demanded more, and we're going to give it to you. So, starting next week, more shows per week, baby. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, SummerSlam on location HD. That's going to be a trip. I can't wait to see how Aaron pulls that off. One camera in HD going around the entire Bob's Big Boy restaurant. That's going to be fun. Anyway, on to your questions for this show. Alright, this one comes from Intro06. Another question I get 100 million times a day. But which TNA superstar do you think would make the biggest impact in the WWE? AJ. AJ Styles. He's been the face of TNA for years. And I think that he would, if given the opportunity, be a tremendous success in WWE. Samoa Joe also. Both those two guys in particular would make a tremendous impact in WWE if they were given the opportunity. But I don't think they want the opportunity. I think they're happy with TNA. I think they want TNA to grow and to succeed and to, eventually outdo WWE. I don't think that'll happen, but I think that's what they want. So, those two would be on the top of my list of making huge impacts in WWE. This one is from Derek. D-A-E-D-R-I-K. Again, this is viewer's choice, guys, so you're voting for these questions. So, if you want to vote for them, tell me how to pronounce the friggin' names. Killing me. Based on the very loud Cena sucks and NXT chants we heard at the end of this June 21st Raw, do you think the quality of WWE's fan base is starting to improve and mature? And if so, do you think this will force WWE to start using more mature storylines and angles? I did hear that. I did hear that chant, both those chants. But I think it was like in that market, Cena was hated. Because if you notice, Cena got a huge pop a couple weeks ago when he faced the NXT guys 6-on-1. He got a tremendous pop. And I think that was limited to that area that people hated Cena. People hate Cena all over, but it was that particular area that, really made go, interesting. So I don't think that WWE is going to mature their storylines necessarily, at least not yet. They're still focused on the PG quality, the PG show, so I don't think they're going to change up anytime soon. This is from MI6 Operative 1995. His real name is Henry, I guess. Hi, Jeff. I was wondering if you know how wrestlers manage to land on tacks without being hurt. I can work out most of the other moves, but I've never been able to figure out how they penetrate the body without causing major injuries. Well... I've been involved with Thumbtacks, and they hurt. There's no question about that. I think Mick Foley said it best when you talk about, you know, like a bed of nails match or a tax match. If you absorb as much of them as possible at one time into one fall, then I guess it doesn't hurt. That's what I've been told. I get one on my thumb and I'm a screaming little girl. It's awful. I don't know. I'd like to ask a hardcore wrestler how that, you know, hurts or doesn't hurt. My old boss would probably know. Yeah, he might know that. But I don't know. Very interesting to find out. It's a good question. Thank you. This is from Telephoto USA. Oh, I can pronounce that one. Do you agree with the assessment of Jim Cornette and many others that writers like Vince Russo have done more harm than good to the wrestling business? Well, that goes back and forth with me, and I'll tell you why. Writers themselves, no. Writers like Vince Russo, yes. Russo, you know, he was good when he was harnessed in and controlled by WWE and Vince McMahon and the creative staff there, and was, you know, limited to what he could do as far as, you know, there was a boundary at that company. With WCW, he was given free reign. He's been given free reign pretty much with TNA to a certain extent. There is a committee there, but, you know, it's obvious that he's not in very much control. So, Russo has been harmful to the business overall, because if it wasn't for Russo, WCW might have been able to have been salvaged, and TNA would probably be better off. But, you know, guys like, you know, I mean, Stephanie is a creative writer. She's awesome. Gerwitz has been a tremendous writer on Raw for years and years. He's awesome. You know, a lot of these guys know what they're talking about. A lot of them don't, but a lot of them do. So, overall, they have been bad, but particular ones have been very detrimental. Yes, no question about that. This is another one from Telephoto USA, who had another question earlier. Do you think that Ric Flair has tarnished his legacy by continuing to wrestle after retiring? I think seeing that obviously past his prime, Flair with saggy pecs and maybe 2 moves in his arsenal was just sad and not a fitting end for his great career. I have to agree. I said this when he came back, you know. I know you got to make a living. I know you got to be out there in the public eye, you know, but Ric Flair is 61 years old. 61. Terry Funk was that age at One Night Stand when he wrestled at 62 or whatever he was, 63. You know, it's ridiculous that they're wrestling at that age. You know, and I think Terry Funk is still wrestling. You know, he's almost 70. Ridiculous way to end your life and your career by not realizing that your time has passed. It is sad, and it is not fitting in for his career at all. It's horrible. Let's see. This is from WWE Fears. Wow. WWE Fears Ties. Wow. What are your thoughts of WWE removing all known references to Chris Benoit to, quote, protect their company? I think it's a disgrace. Do you think if Hulk Hogan killed his family, God forbid, WWE would treat Hogan the same way? Not a chance. You know? It's amazing. We started this show back in July of 2007 talking about the Chris Benoit double murder suicide. And here I am again. It's brought up again. You know, it's hard to say if it was somebody else, if it had been treated differently, you know. God, I don't know how to answer that one. And I know I promised you guys I would research questions better. But, I don't know. If Hogan had been the one to, you know, kill his family and then kill himself, I think that WWE would have done serious damage control and removed him from shows, not necessarily from the website, but definitely from, you know, enhancing his appearance and promoting him as they did. But it's very hard to say. I mean, he's Hulk Hogan. He's, you know, the face of the company for the better part of, you know, 10 years. Benoit was just a cog in the wrench, cog in the works, so to speak. So, That's kind of hard to say. I mean, if it Hogan, if it was Flair, if it was The Rock, if it was Austin, it's very hard to say what WWE would have done. Trapper393 asks me, why is WWE not pushing Dolph Ziggler? He's great in the ring, good on the mic, and he's always good. It's a strong reaction when he comes in. I think WWE is really missing out. What do you think? Yeah. I wasn't a fan of Dolph Ziggler when he first was conceptualized as Dolph Ziggler, Nick Mammoth, Nicky from the Spirit Squad, but I think he's done a tremendous job with the Dolph Ziggler character. I think it's way over. I think WWE themselves weren't expecting to have him be so over, and I think it kind of caught him off guard. He should have been a Intercontinental Champion a long time ago when he was feuding with Rey Mysterio and with John Morrison. He should have been the Intercontinental Champion, and the fact that he's not is stupid. I think they've lost I think they dropped the ball with him tremendously. I think they've lost the opportunity. There's no doubt about that. I hope he gets a push soon. This is from Tabsy619. Hey Jeff, after watching Raw, I think WWE is on the way up back to the good old days. The Usos made their debut. Evan Bourne is getting pushed. New guys holding the world titles. The NXT invasion and a lot more. Do you agree that WWE is improving? Well, I talked about this earlier when Derek asked about the WWE's quality improving as far as the storylines are getting more mature and whatnot. I don't know if WWE is improving overall. Certain things are getting better. No doubt about that. Certain things are being made to happen where things are getting better. I will say that Evan Bourne getting pushed is great. The Usos' debut has been nothing short of spectacular. They've been pushed so well. Sheamus holding the championship is good. Rey Mysterio getting the championship back is good. Yes, I said that. The Nexus is tremendous storyline. Overall, it's been very, very good. This is from WWE Fanatic 0077. If Brock Lesnar was still in the WWE, how would things be different? Such as, how would Bobby Lashley's gimmick have been different? And would John Cena have ever been the face of WWE? Bobby Lashley probably would have not gotten such a huge opportunity like he did if Brock was still around, because Bobby Lashley was very much like Brock Lesnar. And, you can't have too much of a good thing. As far as Cena being the face, yeah, I mean, WWE kind of pinned their hopes on Brock for a good portion of this decade. And for I signed to that huge contract, and the fact they had to fight him to get out of it was, tremendous. Very, very good question. I don't think Cena would have been the face. I think they would have kind of pushed Brock to the moon, and Cena would have been there. Cena would have been one of the guys, but he wouldn't have been the guy, I don't think. I think Brock would be the face of WWE had Brock remained with the company. I can't read the name of this one, so I'm sorry. If you had control over hiring and firing, who would you remove from the WWE and TNA rosters, and why? Okay. I don't know why you guys vote for this to be a popular question, because I've answered this question 100 million times. So, I don't understand. I've said it before, the Great Khali should not have a job. Chavo Guerrero's time has passed, In TNA, they're using most of their guys somewhat properly, and, they're pushing the right people for now. But Al Snow shouldn't have a job in TNA. Come on, it's Stevie Richards, there's so many that I would hire and fire, and, just people that should be there that aren't, and people that shouldn't be there that are. Don't answer that question anymore. I'm not going to answer that anymore. That's going to do it for Talk Wrestling this week. Thank you all for watching this final episode in standard format. What a 3-year run it's been, huh? 3 years, July 2007. I mentioned this earlier, the first episode after the Benoit tragedies, all the way to now. 125 episodes. It seems like yesterday I was sitting over there, and we did the first show. It's crazy. I want to thank you all for all 14,000 plus of you who have supported the show in standard format, and fear not, we're not going away, we're just changing names. It's going to be Talk Wrestling HD from now on. Before I go, though, I want to make 2 quick plugs, and that's strictly selfish reasons. Here in Southern California, if you're watching this show in California, and I mean anywhere in California, or anywhere close to Southern California where you can drive here relatively soon, this weekend, 2 huge events in Southern California. The first is going to be in Reseda. at the American Legion post, number 308, run by Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. A huge card is going to be presented there. First of all, in my opinion, what's important is the return to Southern California of the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, better known as Daniel Bryan, if you're an NXT fan. He's going to be facing Roderick Strong in what's going to be a tremendous matchup. There's no doubt about that. But even more important as far as PWG fans are concerned, because Bryan will be back again. One guy that's not going to be back is the professional, Scott Lost, who's been wrestling for 10 years. Scott Lost, if you don't know who Scott Lost is, Wikipedia him, Google him, look at his matches. He's tremendous. And he's wrestling against Scorpio Sky, who you'll remember from Wrestling Society X. Scott's retiring after this weekend. So my best wishes go out to Scott. I wish I could be there this weekend, but my special lady has a birthday, and we're going to be at Disneyland. So I hope you all get to enjoy it without me, and let me know how it went if you go to Gorilla. Then the next night, Saturday night, the 31st, Millennium Pro Wrestling, mpwwrestling.com. You can check out their huge event, which features the returned MPW of the one and only NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. He'll defend the championship against Ryan Taylor, who's become a huge star here in SoCal the last couple years, last year mainly. And two former XMV guests will be, not even XMV, Extreme Mayhem guests will be facing off for the MPW Maximum Championship as GQ Money defends against the former Hardcore Homo Angel. Also at the show, the Ballard Brothers, Bo Cooper, Disco Machine, just a whole lot of people. Let's see, what else? Just a great card, it looks like. If you want more information, again, go to mpwwrestling.com, and you can find all the information there. You can also call 818-390-3299 and get information on the show there. It's in Chatsworth at the MPW Megaplex, 9145 Deering Avenue, Chatsworth, California. Google map that and find it. Get to that show on Saturday. I'm going to try to be there for the 31st, if not the 3rd. PWG I can't make it, but I'm going to try to be there for MPW because I know Aaron's going. And anytime to see the NWA Champion in action is always a plus. So come out to the shows this weekend. Support indie wrestling, guys. I know it's expensive, but you know what? MPW is how much? I'm looking. $10. $10, 7 for kids. You can't beat that anywhere. PWG is a little more expensive. PWG is going to be $25 for general admission, $30 for front row. In Reseda, you kind of want front row because if you sit behind people, it sucks. So they stand up and it sucks. But save your money. If you got money saved up for something else, blow it this weekend. Screw your savings. You can save next month. Damn it.
Save for Bob's Big Boy.
Save for Bob's Big Boy after this weekend. That's right. Starting August 1st, save your money. For 15 days, save every ounce and every nickel and dime you can because Big Boys are expensive, people. And you're going to buy me one too, so you got to penny up, man. Penny up. Damn it. Anyway, that's it for Talk Wrestling. Standard format. We will see you next week in high definition.